everybody, today's video is a biggie and I am so excited to get into it. I'm back today with another video in collaboration with Unite Students, but some could argue that this one is a little bit more exciting than just that. Unite Students has teamed up with Do Nation to promote some of the small changes that we can make to help out our planet. Now, it is no secret that our Earth really needs our help right now, and that's why I'm so excited to be filming this video and engaging in a little bit of a challenge. So the idea behind this Unite Students and Do Nation collaboration is that round. Is that every single person, no matter who you are, can make one small change that will really impact our planet. Whether that is walking instead of driving, taking the stairs instead of taking the lift, being really vigilant when turning off your lights and electrical appliances around your house, or in my case, we're going to be focusing on waste. When Unite came to me about this video, I was totally on board. Plastic waste and single-use waste in general is a huge problem right now, and it's something that we're only really becoming aware of over the last few years, and it's something that I've been paying a little bit of attention to. I've made some small changes over the last few months, which I feel like have really cut down the amount of plastic waste I produce, but I know that there is so much more that I could be doing. So, what are we doing? Basically, this week I'm going to be living my week as normal, doing the exact same things that I'd normally do, buying the exact same things as I'd normally buy, but instead of throwing out my waste into a bin, I'm going to be collecting it all. I'm going to be seeing how much waste I normally produce on a week-to-week basis. I have no idea how this is going to go, and I'm actually quite intrigued to see how much waste I will actually produce. And then fast forward to next week, I'm going to be making the conscious effort to cut down on the single-use waste that I produce. I'm going to be making some small changes here and there that will hopefully influence the amount of waste I do produce in a week. And of course, you're going to be coming along for the ride. But before we get into it, I do just quickly want to make a few little predictions for this week to come. One of the areas I think there's going to be a huge change now compared to if I filmed this video a few months ago is this bad boy. As soon as these started floating around on the internet, I knew I wanted to buy one. I really make the effort to drink a lot of liquids in the day, and before I came across this bottle, I must have generated so much waste through that. But over the last few months, this little bad boy has come everywhere with me, and it has really made such a difference. The other kind of conscious step that I've integrated into my day-to-day routine is using a keep cup rather than using single-use cups. If ever I went to Starbucks or something, there's a Starbucks on our university campus, and that can get quite dangerous for the bank account and for the earth. And it was actually Unite Students that kindly sent me my keep cup, and ever since I received it, I have been using it non-stop. Everything else in my life, however, I haven't really paid that much attention to. When I'm out and about or when I'm shopping, the plastic waste I'm generating isn't really something that I think about, and that is quite bad. So throughout this week, as I'm living my life on a normal day-to-day basis, I am going to be doing some research to see if there's places around Aberdeen that I can make more sustainable purchases when it comes to food shopping. And finally, making a little prediction for the next week, I feel as though the majority of my waste is going to come from my lunches. Now, I'm not that great at making food and taking it to uni with me. I will always just buy food on the go. And although I eat my lunch most days at one of the university cafes, they serve all of their food in takeaway containers, and that is something that I'm quite worried about. I feel like I might actually generate quite a bit of waste from my lunches compared to anything else, so we'll see how that goes. So those are just a few of my thoughts before we get into this week. I'm going to film a little bit here and there, but because this week is kind of just a normal week, I'm not going to film too much because the bulk of this video will be made up in week 2. So here's a little sneak peek, I guess, of what I get up to this week, next week. What? Another day of uni has come and gone, which means I have some more lunch things. I've got a fork and knife here and my baked potato box, so I'm gonna add that into my bag. It's filling up. So one of the places that I knew I had to check out to kind of reduce the waste I'm creating is Food Story. It is a cafe in Aberdeen. obviously, but they also have a shop which is kind of zero waste, less packaging, all like biodegradable stuff, loose veg, so I'm gonna have a check out and see what I can get. Oh, hi!
You here?
Hey, do you mind if I ask you some questions? This is so 73 questions of Sean Ironside.
Come with me.
We have made it to the halfway point. Week 1 of this challenge is done. And I say challenge because this week was literally just me living my normal life, just doing everything the same, except I've been collecting everything that I would have otherwise thrown in the bin. So I thought before we head in to the proper challenge side of this video, I would show you all of said rubbish that I have been collecting. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought there would have been a lot more than what there actually is. I'm actually pretty pleasantly surprised. So this is my rubbish from 1 week of life. Now, I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this little. So first things first, we have a pasta bag. Now this is a no-no. This says on the back, loud and clear, not currently recyclable. So this is the definition of single-use plastic. This is something that cannot be recycled, something that I cannot use again, something that basically will go into the bin, get put into a landfill site and just sit there for years. Next thing we have here is an egg box, which, you know, we're fine, widely recycled. And not only that, I'm not going to throw this out, I'm actually going to take this today, and as I do my little top-up shop for the next week, this is going to come in handy. Next up, we have some lunch. This is something that really actually pleasantly surprised me. So where's all the other little bits? Here, some soup from uni and some more soup from uni. So this is what I worried about quite a bit. I thought that the waste that I created while I was at uni would be quite a big thing, because although I eat at the cafes at uni, they serve them in like takeaway containers just in case you want to take them away. And I thought that would be a problem because I thought it would be all of these lunch items that I would just be throwing away. But turns out they actually use compostable containers. So this can be composted, is that a word? As can these. Even the lids, it says compostable lid. So literally I'm so happy because I thought this was going to like bulk me out a lot, but all of this stuff would not end up in a landfill site. So go uni, I'm actually really pleasantly surprised. Got a lot of cutlery, lots of forks and knives and some spoons for my soup. But turns out these are also compostable as well. So here is our pile that can be recycled, and here is our pile that can't. This is not good. This is also not so good, but it's better than what it could be. So it's time to get rid of this and start a fresh week. This is the stuff that cannot be recycled or that I'm unsure whether it can or not. And although I say that I'm surprised about how little I actually used, this is just for one person for 1 week. And if you add that up and calculate how much that is in a month, in a year, for a family of 4 across the country, that's really going to add up. So that's what I'm going to try and make the conscious effort to avoid this time. So for this week, we're going to try and make some changes. And that is all going to start today. I am going to go and do a little top-up shop. I have some vegetables left from my initial shop, but other than that, I don't really have much else. So I'm going to try and get my kind of normal weekly shop, but in a more sustainable way. This week might be a little bit of a challenge, but I'm determined to see what changes I can make, and I'm also really intrigued to see what Aberdeen has in terms of like sustainable local produce, lack of packaging, so let's do it. So that is it, week 1 of rubbish is gone. Our bag is emptied, and yes, I am aware that I am using a plastic bag for this, which is kind of going against the purpose of this video, but it was one that I had in my flat, so I thought I may as well use it. And yeah, now we are ready to get on the road. One item did not hit the bin because we're going to need him very, very soon. Okay, so I am now out for the day. I've just parked my car, and normally I would just go and get a parking ticket, but I've actually just downloaded the Ringo app, and I'm gonna do my parking through this app today because that stops me getting the tiny little piece of paper that I would put on my dash and then just throw away. So yeah, where am I? Yep, duration 1 hour. Let's go. So obviously the first stop is Food Story. So the other day when I came to Food Story, I had a look upstairs in their shop to see what kind of stuff they had, and now I'm gonna go and buy some. I've planned out some meals I'm gonna make for the week, and I know what I'm after, so I'm gonna get it here where it's package free. Mission successful. I've had a little coffee catch up with my friend, and I've got all the fruits and veg that I need for probably the rest of the week, and the best part is the only waste that I've created from that is these 2 paper bags, so success! Okay, so we're having problems. We are having severe sickness related problems, and this isn't good. I have not managed to eat a solid food in the last 24 hours, but I'm feeling confident. I'm kind of backing myself here, and I decided that I'm about ready to try some super noodles. I feel like they're probably the most safe solid that you can try. So when Heather went to the shops, she picked me up some super noodles, but that does mean that I now have a stupid little plastic thing. But do you know what? I kind of needed to. I feel like I need to try and eat something that's actually going to sustain life within me. But yeah, so this is getting added to our bag of rubbishness, along with this can of Coke, because whenever you're sick, Coke is good to settle your stomach. So I'm doing self-preservation here rather than earth preservation, but I feel like it is required at this specific moment in time. So I'm now going to attempt to sit up and eat my super nudes. Nom. Wish me luck.
3 days later.
Hey guys, so I am alive, which is lovely. It was touch and go for a while, but we appear to have almost made it to the end of that entire situation, which I am entirely glad about. So you may remember that a few days ago we went to Food Story, we got some nice fruits and veggies, some pasta, and the idea there was to go and get my stuff that I could there and then get the rest of my weekly shop at Sainsbury's. Other supermarkets are available, but Sainsbury's is the closest one. So we're gonna go do a little shop, and we're gonna try and do it as packaging free as we can. We are coming to the end of this little challenge, but because I've had pretty much 3 days out of action that I wasn't eating food, I want to give it a go for a little bit longer. So I'm gonna go and see what Sainsbury's has to offer on this lovely Sunday evening. So if I were normally getting fruit for my porridge, I would choose like strawberries, blueberries, maybe some grapes or plums, but as you can see, all of these are in plastic packaging, which I'm going to try to avoid. So let's see what I can get instead. Pineapple porridge, no, that's not a good idea. Yeah, I'll go for half a kilo of that. Yes. And that is it. Would I be able to have it in like one of the other little bags rather than the plastic bag? Is that okay?
Yeah, like paper one.
Yeah, that's great.
No bother.
Thank you. Nope. Yeah. So, week 2, here's how we got on. Now, I'm kind of a little bit torn because This is definitely less than what I generated last week, but there still seems to be quite a bit in here. So let's get unpacking, shall we? The first thing here I have are the paper bags that I got some of my fruit and veg in when I went to Food Story. These are obviously recyclable, so although it is some waste, it's not the worst type of waste. So that's not too bad, I guess. The next thing that we have here is my egg carton. Now this is actually the same egg carton as the one from week 1. I took it to Food Story, it filled up with eggs. The eggs are now all gone, but I'm not going to be throwing this out anytime soon. I'm going to keep it, go back to Food Story to get my eggs, and yeah. Another little bit of waste here, but it's not hitting the bin just yet. So, how did I feel that this week 2 went? Not gonna lie, it was a lot easier than what I thought it would be. When I saw the stuff in the bag piling up, I did get quite worried, but now going through it all and realising that there's actually only one thing there that cannot be recycled is pretty amazing. Not only that, but I feel like more importantly, I've had a huge change within my mind about the waste I do generate. Before this week, if I had got myself some soup, I would have just poured this out into the pan, popped this in the bin and never thought about it again. But I've really seen a change in the way that I think about my waste. This is now not something to be thrown in the bin. This is something to reuse again and again and again. And there's really nothing stopping you from doing that with almost anything. Things like this egg carton, I'm going to be keeping this around for a while. If it stops me going and buying more and more cartons that would just get thrown out, why not? So there we have it. This is week 2 all laid out. I'm actually so pleasantly surprised, and even better than this, the only thing that can't be recycled is this bad boy. In terms of ease of this challenge, it was honestly so much easier than what I thought it would be before I got into it. Another thing that I want to note is that I was really pleasantly surprised with the stuff that I could buy in the supermarket packaging free. This is something that I didn't really know what to expect because it's nothing that I'd really looked out for before. I've just become so used to picking up a bag of carrots when it literally takes the same amount of effort to go and take some loose carrots. And that is something that I'm going to really focus on now. Moving forward, I'm going to make the effort. If there is something that comes packaging free, I will buy it over the stuff that isn't packaging free. And I feel like that is a really important step. And finally, finishing off this video, we could not talk about this full plastic-free living if we didn't speak about the cost. I feel as though this is a huge factor for many people and something that plays on a lot of people's minds. Honestly, was living attempting to be plastic free more expensive than normal? Yes, to a certain extent, but at the same time, it's a really small price to pay. When I went to buy some groceries from the supermarket, I made a note of the prices of everything that I was picking up in comparison to the prices of the stuff that I picked up in Food Story. Now, the stuff that I did buy in Food Story was considerably more expensive than the stuff that I picked up in Sainsbury's, but at the same time, there is that variation in Sainsbury's as well. So I kind of expected to be paying more at Food Story because obviously it's an independent business, it's privately run, everything that they are sourcing is local, packaging free, and it's just that kind of ethos of that independent business. It is going to be a little bit more expensive compared to a supermarket. But I would encourage you the next time you are shopping, take a look at the price difference like per kilogram between the stuff that is in plastic packaging and stuff that isn't, because it isn't that much at all. And one of the things that actually really pleasantly surprised me is when I was buying my beef to make the beef stew, the stuff that I got from the butcher's counter was cheaper than the packaged stuff that was on the shelves. So not only am I cutting back on packaging, but I'm also saving money from going to the butcher's counter and probably getting a better cut of meat. So there we have it. I hope that you've enjoyed coming on this little journey with me. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up. This was honestly one of my favourite videos I've ever filmed. I felt like it was so interesting to challenge myself a little bit, and it's something that I want to do a little bit more of. The things that I've learned through filming this video and the habits that I've created are definitely going to stick with me. I'm really going to make the effort now to incorporate these changes into my day-to-day life, and I would really encourage you to do the same. If you do have any tips for living plastic free or reducing your waste, do let me know. Leave them down below in the comments, not only for my own benefit but for everybody else watching this video. And if you're in the position to do so, I would highly encourage you to try out this challenge as well. 1 week is all it takes. These changes are so minuscule and have hardly made an impact on my day-to-day life, but the impact that they will make on our planet is huge. As I said, if you guys did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see me do any challenges similar to this one, please let me know some ideas down below and I will see what I can do. That is it for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you again soon with another one. Bye!